morning. My name is Ronald Spritzer. I'm a judge of the Atomic Safety and Licensing Board assigned to this case. This case is in the matter of Detroit Edison Company concerning the application, combined license application for Fermi Nuclear Plant Unit 3. It's docket number 52-033-COL and ASLBP number 98-80-05-COL-BD01. And we are here to hear oral argument concerning the petition to intervene and request for a hearing filed by Beyond Nuclear and a number of other organizations and also several individuals. This is a hearing to hear oral argument on the admissibility of their contentions. We are not yet at the stage where we will be hearing public statements, so members of the public who are here, you're more than welcome to listen. We hope you find this educational and interesting. I'll try and help to that to the extent I can by providing at least a brief introduction of what each contention is about before we start arguing on that contention. But this is not a public participation proceeding. We may, boards often do hold public participation sessions, what we call limited appearance sessions at a later stage of our proceedings, but we're not at that stage yet. Right now we're at the stage of simply sorting out the case, deciding which of the contentions, if any, filed by petitioners merit going forward with, and we will later on decide when, where, and under what circumstances we would hold an evidentiary hearing if their petition to intervene and request for a hearing is granted. Let me begin by thanking the City Council, the Mayor, and the administration of the town of Monroe for very kindly making this facility available to us, and we hope we have an interesting and useful hearing here today. I'll also ask the other judges here to introduce themselves. To my right is Judge Randy Charbonneau.
Yeah, I'm Randy Charbonneau. I'm an administrative judge, and I'm also a professor on the faculty of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at the University of Texas at Austin. Closer to here, I was born and raised in Ann Arbor, and my undergraduate degree is from the University of Michigan in civil engineering.
Good morning. My name is Michael Kennedy. As a member of this board, I'm one of the two technical judges, with Dr. Charbonneau being the other. In regard to my academic background, I have a master's and PhD in nuclear engineering. And prior to joining the Atomic Safety and Licensing Board panel with the NRC, I spent 35 years performing and reviewing safety analysis and licensing of nuclear facilities.
Good morning. My name is Terry Lodge. I'm counsel for the various and sundry petitioners Beyond Nuclear and the others, individuals and organizations.
Okay, and on your right?
On my left. Thank you. There are several people who will, lawyers, without being too derogatory about the profession, being sometimes regarded as a mouthpiece. I'm going to have intelligent people helping me today, including Sandra Bin, who's on my immediate left, Michael Keegan, who is in the table, Diane DeRico, who is behind me, and Paul Gunter, who is also behind me. Oh, pardon me, and Kevin Camps, who is also going to present argument on a couple of contentions, as is Mr. Keegan.
Okay. Since you have a number of people there, you'll need to move up to the microphone when you're making your presentations. And then on my left, the applicant, Detroit Edison Company.
Yes, I'm David Repka, counsel for Detroit Edison Company. And on my left is my colleague, Tyson Smith, who will also be presenting some argument on some issues this morning. I do want to mention behind me today, directly behind me are David Harwood, Randy Westmoreland, and Peter Smith of the Detroit Edison Fermi 3 project. And I believe Mr. Smith will probably join me at council table on at least a couple of the contentions to provide some technical support. And also with us is our colleague, Rachel Mears-Wilson, attorney for Detroit Edison Company.
Good, glad to have all of you. And for the NRC staff.
Hello, my name is Marcia Carpentier, and I'm here for the NRC staff. And with me on my right is Marcia Simon, who's also an attorney with the Office of General Counsel at NRC. Also with us today are Stephen Lamont, who's the environmental project manager on the Fermi 3 project. He will be in charge of the environmental impact statement process. And on the far right is Jerry Hale, who is the safety project manager, who will be handling the safety evaluation, the other half of the staff's review. However, they will not be arguing contentions today.
Very good. Any housekeeping matters brought up by any of the parties represented before we get started?
For the record, and
Okay.
that is representation on the petitioner's side. We wanted to confirm that Mr. Lodge was counsel for all of the petitioners and that none of them are intending to appear pro se. And the reason for that is in case we need to consult on motion or any other procedural matter.
That is a correct statement. I represent all petitioners as their counsel, but took the invitation of this board to designate people with a little more knowledge than I might have on a couple of the contentions.
That's fine. Very well, let's move to contentions 1, 6, and 14, which we decided to hear argument on together since they're all related. For members of the public who haven't had the chance to digest the 300 or so pages of material that have been filed in this proceeding by all the various participants, these are all related contentions. They concern essentially impacts to water resources, either in terms of the water that the plant, the proposed permit unit 3, will draw in from Lake Erie, or discharges to Lake Erie and other water resources from the plant during its operations, once it gets under operation, if it is indeed licensed. And we've combined these contentions because they all appear to be fairly closely related.